Have you ever wondered why a CEO, well-prized woman who has her own career, everything going well for her, could still remain in an abusive relationship, traumatized, and still find it so hard to make a decision? Have you ever wondered why a mother who clearly knows that her husband has impregnated her own child still stick around in that marriage? And I have looked around to ask several questions to why these things are happening, and this is why I am here. Hello everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. This is actually my first YouTube video. It wasn't hard for me to know exactly what I want to do when I came to YouTube. I knew exactly the niche I want to deal on. But before I get into that, I need to introduce myself and why I'm here. My name is Ifeanyi Kanu. I am a mother of 2 loving kids. I was once a radio producer. I'm drawn to be on this space when I found out that you can own a space on YouTube and tell your story. But before I get into the reason why a well-prized CEO, badass woman cannot for any reason own up to her abuse, trauma, and things she's going through in her relationship, one thing that we need to know, everything that happens has a root. Let me also let you know that I am a Nigerian and I grew up in my hometown, in my village, in a laid-back society where there's no much development. We don't really have much electricity at the time I was growing up. So most times, some smart people can tell you the time of the day by looking naturally in the weather. Yeah. Example, at night, when the full moon comes out at night and it shines so bright, I remember all of us gather on the sand when mom would tell us stories from the moonlight, and some of these stories could be how to help us morally and socially. She'd tell us stories about how not to lie, how not to steal, how not to be jealous, greedy. Then while she's telling us the story on the sand, we sleep off and then they take us to bed. I remember when we come back to festivals. This festival include masquerade. People come together. In fact, some people from town do come together, make new connections and bond with their family. Then I remember when the rain falls, all the kids get so excited, get naked and go out to dance in the rain. Just hold up. At that time, we didn't know that when you wet yourself out in natural rain, that you are doing some natural cleansing. I get to know that now, but this is what we do almost all the time in the village, and we don't even know what exactly that means. But this cultural aspect of mine and memories, I would never trade for anything. But there are toxic aspects of culture that changed me and changed my life. What exactly is culture? They say culture is people's way of life. So I asked, who exactly made the culture? Because there's something wrong, inadequate about some cultural orientation. Because it seems that society do not understand that anything that does not base in love would not stand. We are hurting ourselves when we are not coming from a place of love. We are hurting ourselves if what motivates us is pride, supremacy, and dominance. We can never thrive. We cannot win. I asked this question because I found out that women in my culture were hurting. Some of them has been denied completely about their sexuality. Okay, let me start with, my dad married 2 wives. My uncle married 3 wives. So I was raised in a polygamous environment, and I can tell you firsthand that are in polygamous home does not show love, really. Physical expresses love at home because they are biased. Children receive it that same way. And this is why most children get abused. They don't know who to tell because oftentimes they beat them a lot. It's tough love, they call it tough love. They don't know who to run to tell them, this is who is abusing me, what do I do? Because you're not close to your parents. And I found out that in that polygamous setting over time, jealousy starts reigning and people go overboard to do things to hurt themselves just so they would maintain societal and cultural status. Notice that women will try everything hard to make sure that they keep having baby boys. Woe betide you if all you have are 5, 4, 6 girls. You don't have a boy. You don't have a place. Well, this is not exactly what happened to every home. But this is exactly what happens to most homes. And even if it does not happen in your own home, it is what you are experiencing and you call these things normal. And these things are not normal. I do not really have much issue with women who choose to remain in abusive marriage because they are adults. They can think for themselves and make choices for themselves based on how they feel. I'm talking about the children who are in this whole mess and they are trapped and they keep on circling the abuse over and over again. We all gather together as kids. Sometimes we could be open enough to tell the stories of some of the guys that tried to sexually abuse us. It wasn't a beautiful experience anyway. And sometimes we don't even own up to tell that truth because you are ashamed. You don't even know why you're keeping that secret, but you just don't want to tell. Talking about sex is one thing that looks so damn odd. You keep it to yourself and you're dying. Almost all the kids, 3-year-old, 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old, get sexually abused. But the main painful part is that all the men that abuse these children go free. Nothing happens to them. Not even the culture that permitted them to do whatever they want to do cautioned them. I took this to my mom. I asked mom, I said, Mom, why would they abuse a girl like this and no one cautioned them? Mom said, because they are men. I said, so because they are men, they are eligible to hurt people and nothing happens to them. My curiosity grew. So when I left my village and started traveling and started seeing other things, I found out that whatever we called culture is people creation. It is actually someone ideology that they dominated it. So, and because of it, they are suppressing another person's feeling. So something was wrong. I started searching, looking for why. The curiosity brought me to my own self because I was traumatized in so many ways. I was seeking for healing for myself. And that was when I found Oprah Winfrey. And the pieces of her was in my story. She resembled me and she tells her story that I can so much relate to. I know the story for sure, and I said to myself that if Oprah could help me navigate through trauma, then I need to do that to some other girl. Because some women are trapped in the village where they believe that once you cross certain age, you don't need sex anymore. Is your sex actually important? I was asking a lot of things because I know that there were men who had multiple wives, and at certain age in their life, they stopped getting an erection. So what happened to the women? And why would those women choose not to find what to do for themselves? What is self-limiting belief? The shocker, or one of the things that shocked me so badly, was when a 14-year-old girl got pregnant. The elder siblings and the mother, they were beating hell out of her to say, who is the father of your baby? And after much beating, she opened up and we found out that the father of her baby is her own father. The mother stayed in the marriage, nurtured her daughter and her grandkid, owned by the husband, and still remained in that marriage. The father did not do anything. He didn't even say sorry. When I said this thing, they said men say sorry in different ways. Maybe by the time he bought something to them, that's his own way of saying sorry. Like you abuse someone this badly, and you don't know how to apologize. That girl at 14 years eventually carried that baby to term and bred this baby, and life goes on. But I know one thing, she went out of the life and keep on attracting men like her father. And I'm here wondering, how do we stop this cycle? I need to niche on self-healing, on self-improvement, because when every other one has talked to you and say everything to you, what exactly are you saying to yourself? How are you thriving? What do you speak to yourself to get over it? Is getting culturally correct the most important thing, or to get self-correct, self-healing, self-love that is devoid of perfection? What exactly is that important thing to you? This channel, mostly for women who are like me, so they can have a space where we can share our stories together, where we can bond, so we can stop bleeding. It's okay for us to heal, so we stop attracting people who abuse us. When you look at things from the truth, from the authentic point of view, you heal. You didn't just heal the next girl behind you. You heal your neighbor, you heal your sibling, you heal your own child. That's what healing does. When I heal myself, I have contributed to the society, and that's why this space is. It is for women and for men who wants to understand women's psychology and the best way they can raise their own child. So this channel focuses on self-healing, self-improvement, self-therapy, mind clarity, social and emotional intelligence. And if that's what exactly interests you, why don't you go ahead and click on the like button, subscribe to this channel so that you'll see more and more of my content, because you know what? We're going to be having a whole lot of girl talk. Come, let's go.